Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Some extremely petty revenge. Should fit right in here. Honestly, if you have a good book in a few quarters, this is worth hanging around for, just to ensure today's crazy lady has to wait the full time until everyone else's stuff is dry. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. I'm not finished yet. My clothes dryer regularly breaks down. It's annoying. More annoying is dragging my wet clothes to the laundromat to use the dryers. The one closest to my house is also the cleanest one, so in spite of the fact that it has about 20 washers and only 10 dryers, I use it. I try to go when it's not busy, but that's hit and miss. I pull up with loads and loads of wet clothes. Place is empty. So far, so good. After I get my stuff in the dryers, I'm using 3 or 4, a crowd hits, still not too bad. I should have at least half my stuff out of the dryers before the others need them. Then the crazy lady comes in. She grabs her laundry into the last of the empty washers, then she grabs 2 of the carts, one with each hand, and holds on to them. By this time, other washers are finished. I'm emptying the first of my dryers, and people are moving clothes to the dryers, except some of them have to hand carry their clothes from washer to dryer because crazy lady won't let go of the carts. She glares at anyone who comes close. Everyone in the laundromat is getting a little grumpy and impatient. All my dryers finish except the last dryer of towels. As fast as I'm emptying the dryers, other people are taking them. Each time I carry a basket to my car, I pass crazy lady. Each time she says loud and in my general direction, "You need to hurry up. I need dryers in 5 minutes." Comes down to my last dryer of towels. All the other dryers are full. By this time, crazy lady is standing over my dryer with her cart of wet clothes, counting down the minutes left on the timer. I'm staying far, far away while still watching her. The dryer clicks off. Now crazy lady is practically hopping on one foot, yelling, hurry up, I need that dryer." I slowly walk over, open the dryer, plunge my hand deep into the mass of my perfectly dry towels, frown, close the dryer door, put another quarter in the slot, 10 more minutes. Crazy lady loses her crap. Her husband drags her from the building. Everyone in the laundromat is smiling. Crazy lady's still in the parking lot screaming when I load up my last basket and leave. And our second story. Honey, I'm the queen of petty. So let me preface this by saying I work in a call center. We get 4 weeks of paid vacation and we go through bids for vacation days starting in November for the following year. Bidding is based off seniority, which I'm fine with, but sometimes it can suck. In my particular role, it can be pretty awful because we only have 4 people for our role, so only one person can be scheduled off a day. I have this coworker, let's call him Steve. Well, Steve has more seniority than me, so since we work the same days, he gets first dibs. So when our bidding started, I already expected him to have the week of Christmas off, which is pretty usual for him, so no big. I approached him one day just to ask if he was planning on taking a certain day off, my birthday, and he said no because it's not during the usual week he takes off. So I start walking away, and he had the audacity to call after me saying, "Actually, I'll let you have your birthday off if you let me have," insert Hallmark holiday here. "I'm going out of state that weekend." I was all sorts of annoyed. What kind of weak, petty bullcrap did he think he was going to get away with here? I didn't say anything and continued to walk away. Well, Steve had been talking about trying to get a leave of absence for a while because he was too stressed. Somehow he convinced some doctor he legit needed time off. He didn't. He tries going out on leave every year towards the end of the year to get all the winter holidays off, and he left the week of Thanksgiving. Here's where the petty comes in. Now, when Steve left, we'd only done 1 round of vacation bidding. There were still 3 rounds left for us to go through. And guess what you can't do when you're on a leave of absence? You can't bid on vacation. So while Steve was finding himself, or whatever bullcrap he fed everyone else, I was bidding for everything I knew he wanted. Week of Christmas, I got it. My birthday, got it. Kids' spring break week, mine. 4th of July week, oh yeah. Father's Day, no out-of-state trip for you, Steve. And to top it all off, I took his birthday off just for good measure. He still has yet to bring it up, and I know he's seen what days are available and what days aren't. I just can't wait till he brings it up. Edit. So I have an update. Steve has left our role and accepted a new one. However, because he started a new role in a department that did their vacation bid the same time my department did, they still have far more people than my team did. He still won't get any of the days he wants. So it didn't exactly go down as planned, but he's gone and still has to work all the days he would have originally taken off. So I'll accept that win. And our next story. A wild Karen gets thrown out and banned from a hardware store, and I get a free sausage. This happened in Australia a while ago. This occurred just before our first lockdown, and there were mandatory mask requirements when shopping at retail stores. For context, in high school and all through university, college for you Americans, I worked at a mom-and-pop hardware store, so I know my way around hardware. Please note that in our big box hardware stores, there isn't much customer service. Most staff are there to check on stock levels, stock shelves, and attend the cash register. The old warhorses, staff, are always occupied helping people, but they're in short supply. So it's a Saturday and I need some plumbing supplies. I'm in one of the most intimidating aisles for a lot of people. It's got all the copper, tap, and toilet fittings. I got all the items I need and I've been there a good 20 minutes. I can see an older gent struggling and trying to work out what he needs. I catch his eye and he waves me over enthusiastically. I grab what he needs for a leaky cistern and instruct him on how to install it. He thanks me and leaves. As I'm about to leave, another old gent waves at me and asks me for help. I show him a direct replacement for his tap washes, but then proceed to show him a ceramic fitting that basically makes sure he never has to replace washes again. He balks at the price, but I convince him to get it. Once a salesman, always a salesman. Plus, he gets a senior discount. As I'm about to leave with the gent, a wild Karen appears from behind me, silent as a mouse, but mousy she is not. She's dumpy, middle-aged, big, bushy brown hair and face that caked in makeup, screeching at me, "Oi, you! I want these items!" As I turn, she shoves a list in my face. Now, if she'd smiled at me and asked politely, I would have happily helped her. But F that crap, I smile and politely decline. "Sorry, I don't work here," indicating my clothes. I've got a blue singlet on, blue cargo shorts, pockets full with plumbing products. Staff wear red and green. So I turn and proceed to leave. Karen reaches out her claw-like hand and tries to turn me towards her, but I slip out of her grasp. "You effing helped him," indicating the old fella standing next to me. "You work here, don't lie to me," she screams. "Ma'am, I don't work here." I attempt my best withering gaze. "I'll let the counter know you need help and they'll send someone along." I make a hasty retreat with the old gent. Karen's hot on my tail, screaming at the top of her lungs, calling me a few racist names and claiming I'm sexist besides other choice things. I've ignored her, and I think this has infuriated her more. She tried a couple of times to get a hold of me, but I've struggled it off, once of which she loses her footing and trips. This enables me to get the hell out of Dodge. I can hear her lumbering along on my heels, screeching like a velociraptor. A member of staff, let's call her S, intercepts Karen and asks her to stop screaming. Karen points to me and starts ranting about me, calling me names and making up a story about me being rude, racist, and assaulting her. Clearly, as soon as she says assault, the situation is now escalated and she's in for a very big surprise. S turns to me and rolls her eyes. She knows this is going to be a long one. I do too. I turn to the old gent and tell him to get in line because this is going to be a while. He tells me it's fine, I'll need a witness. My heart bursts a little. So security gets called. I have a quick conversation with the manager and relay the events that have unfolded. The old man relays the same thing. I also indicate that there are multiple security cameras around the place. I ask the manager if she can remind Karen that there is multiple security cameras around. Police get called anyway, and unlucky for her, no time to recant, there's already a patrol car in the parking lot. They just had lunch. They isolate us, me, old fella, and Karen, and do a quick interview. So I'm chilling in the office, 60-ish minutes. Officers come in and have reviewed the tapes and ask if I want to press any charges. I declined and they let me go. Manager's waiting for me and walks me to the checkout, lets me know Karen's getting a lifetime ban. Didn't know they even did that. I pay for my plumbing supplies with a trade discount. Yeah. As I'm walking to the exit, I see old fella sitting on the bench. He gets up and asks me if I want a sausage. We have a good laugh over sausage with onions and a Coke. I offer to come over and fit the tap washes for him, and we organize a time for tomorrow morning for me to drop by. He actually only lives a street away from me. As I'm getting in my car, Karen emerges with the cops and the manager. She looks distressed. At least she's not in cuffs. I know she's got not many options, so I drive by as she's talking to someone on the phone and wind down my window. Hey, see across the road the sign that says R? They're a trade plumbing supply store. If you go there and don't be a bee, they'll have everything on your list. I'll never understand why some people believe they can get their way by being progressively more rude or play the victim if that doesn't work. Honestly, I think there must be some point in human history where people branched off in different directions, leading to an entire group of people with butt hat genes. And our last story. Don't mess with the long memory of the law, a cautionary tale. With the permission of my friend whose tale this is, comes this tale of petty revenge served cold. This story begins 32 years ago. My friend Rick was a young police constable on traffic duty. In my town, we have a road that, in those days, had a blind curve due to heavy shrubbery and tree growth. It was also a connecting road to a secondary highway, so people tended to come into town hot and hit that curve too fast. Pedestrians, bikers, and other cars were often hit from behind, and finally, when a young girl was hit on her bike, the police and city decided to crack down. Rick parked his police car at the entrance to an empty lot, situated just before the curve. Incoming cars would see him and slow down. One night, the owner of the empty lot, Jimmy, appeared and asked him what he was doing. Rick said his presence was part of a traffic calming initiative. Jimmy told him to get off his property, and he didn't care about the initiative. He called the local detachment and told the commander to keep the police cars off his property. Many years later, he sold the property, undeveloped. That's another story. Rick complied, and sure enough, a few weeks later, there was a near-fatal accident involving a speeding car and a motorcycle. The city eventually reconfigured the entire curve with traffic lights and a new intersection. Fast forward 30 years. Rick had risen through the ranks and was now a very senior officer in the police HQ. His office was on the 4th floor, and only those with special access got up there. The HQ was undergoing some retrofitting that included electrical work. The main power/utility room was on the 5th floor, and there were 2 ways to access it. The short way, cutting through the 4th floor offices to a special staircase, or the long way, a 10-minute walk around to the back of the building and a 5-story walk up the stairs. Guess who was the contractor on the job? Yes, Jimmy. He sweet-talked a security officer into giving him a special pass for the 4th floor so he could take the shortcut to the power room. Normally, contractors do not get passes unless they're working on the 4th floor directly. Rick came out of his office one day and spotted Jimmy entering through a security door. He recognized him immediately. "Hey, what are you doing here?" Rick asked. "Oh, I have a pass. I'm working in the power room on 5, Jimmy said. "A pass? Let me see that," Rick said. Jimmy handed it over. Rick looked at it, then put it in his pocket. "Contractors walk around," he said, and directed him back out. He called security and made sure they understood he was not to enter the building but walk around the back and up the access stairs. The job took several months into the winter. The walk was cold, like the revenge. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.